Hello and welcome to this build, and it's going out to George at Decals Salvage to make him feel homesick. Go out and check his channel. Some good stuff going on there, he's just got back. And this one's going to be the Dinky 255 Mersey Tunnel Place Land Rover. And got a couple of pictures coming up to get you in the feel for build. And this one is a Saab 340 registered G-HOPP over the Liver building and Pierhead, and he'll have just taken off from Speke Airport, which is now Liverpool John Lennon, and it'll be heading for the Isle of Man on one of the regular ferry flights. Anyway, here's a picture of the real vehicles outside the Mersey Tunnel entrance, and it's in the two colours they were in this model. There were red ones and there were the white ones, or creamy white. And here's a close-up of the red one in the picture with two people that George will affectionately know as Scuffers. And the Mersey Tunnel Place is a separate division of police within Liverpool's police force that works specifically within the tunnel, with assisting with breakdowns and traffic control, any problems, etc. Here's another entrance to the tunnels with some more of the Land Rovers at the ends, and they were quite a handsome little vehicle. I always remembered them in my childhoods when I went through Mersey Tunnel. And here's a picture of the creamy white one with red wings. And I don't know whether I quite remember this one. I think I do remember these, but I'm getting on a bit now, and we used to go regularly to Liverpool at weekends. But here's a slightly later version, a Land Rover Defender 90 from the Mersey Tunnel Place. And still same job, basically just different vehicles, and here brings us up to date with some of the more up to date vehicles. And that one, I think it's a Volvo, unless I'm mistaken. And this one's basically a van, which they have to carry equipment and everything within the tunnel, and just in case they have to close a lane off, or they have to be fully equipped for dealing with any eventuality in the tunnel. Anyway, here's my starting point. A beaten and battered dinky Mersey Tunnel Place Land Rover. Excuse the hands, I've done better carousel shots. And it's actually, to be fair to it, it's not too bad an example. You could have just put tyres on and had an half decent example, but the decals were missing, and I wouldn't call it considerable paint loss, but enough to warrant restoring it. It's not exactly a mint example, so, or near mint. It's a happily play one. I like the patina on it, but I quite fancied it having it as new. And here just grinding the bottom down, because it's a tin base, so it'd fit snug. and level. I didn't want it unlevel or anything. And here we grinding the axle ends down to take the wheels off. And here I'm hammering level the base plate as it were twisted and bent. Not too bad, but enough to warrant hammering it straight and putting it back to the shape it should be. It was quite a weak spot really. They've stood up all these years, I suppose, the bases, but they weren't the strongest construction, they were just tin plate. Which really, it is surprising how long some of them have lasted, considering it were just really thin tin. And here we are, beating it to shape again. And here what I'm doing, I'm mixing the body colour. I mixed it out 4 Tamiya colours. I had red, white, yellow and black. Sounds silly, I know, but you need both white and black when you're mixing in to get tone. And the yellow was to give it a bit of a brighter red. Anyway, it's near enough, the red I did on it. I didn't match it exact, I just match it near enough the factory colour. Which, that's the best you can hope for really, because over years you're matching paint that's been either sun faded or in smokers' houses or just dirt on it, and just general age. All paint yellows we age. So here we go. It's in the caustic bath of doom, stripping the paint. And there we go, give it a swirl round, see if the paint's off. And next up, I'll straighten the bumper out. There were a bit of bending on the bumper. So onto the anvil and straighten it out. Well, it's not an anvil, it's vice, but I'll use it as an anvil. That'll just be between you and me. Decided I weren't hitting it hard enough. Give it another couple of goes. Anyway, I've put my drill into my vice, so it's held, so I'm using it basically as a lathe for turning. I've got the axle in the drill and polishing it up. There we go, off with next one. And there we go, lovely and clean. Anyway, at this point, we're going to be putting it into primer. And it's a lovely proportioned casting, this. Really makes a nice model. And the detail on it's lovely. It's about what's on a Land Rover. They were just a basic utility vehicle, built for doing a job. And they did. I've never been a big Land Rover fan, but they did the job well, I suppose. Saw enough of them in the military when I was there and stuff, and I've driven one. I've got to admit they're not my favourite to drive. In fact, they're down there on one of my more stated drives, if I'm honest. Today, I mean, for most of people, if they want a 4x4, a Land Rover's overkill. And why be uncomfy and cold and battered about when you can drive something like a Shogun or something like that? It's just, a Land Rover was a tool for a job, really. They were originally intended to be a farm vehicle, so they're agricultural, really, to be honest. The original Mark I Land Rovers included a PTO on them for farming equipment. Later ones took it off and you could only have it if you ordered it. But that's where the market was originally. So they were designed with a PTO for farming equipment. Like a lot of people view in England, farmers use Range Rovers, and it's not really quite the truth. Rich gentlemen farmers may do, but in the main, farmers in England will more than likely have a Land Rover, and most of them where I live, they used to have beat up, battered old diesel Mercedes saloons, because they were rough, tough as old boot saloons. You had the comfort of the car, they could do a bit of rough work if you needed to. And then if they needed anything above that, they got a Land Rover, because it had to pay its way as a proper off-road vehicle, and a rough and tumble off-road vehicle around the farm. It had to be at home towing hay-trailers as anything. And the actual Range Rovers were more your gentrified farmers with lots of money, and mainly the horsey set and shooting set had them. And the Land Rover is the real workhorse of farmer in the UK. Anyway, just touching in the details. And here, we're just putting on the decals. I forget where I got these. I don't think these were black squares. I think I just got them off eBay, but whoever they were, it was another supplier apart from Black Square, but they were absolutely terrific decals. This is just me faffing. I made a dog's dinner of it, really. I could have made it a lot easier than I did that one then. But I got there with it. But for a yellow decal, they've obviously put white underneath it. And the register on it is brilliant, and the colour is brilliant. Sometimes yellow's weak going over colours and stuff, but that's fantastic. Can't fault it. I'll give you a link, but I've forgotten who it is now. But in the main I use black square decals anyway, they're fantastic, but I just seem to remember these ones weren't black squares. And here we're putting the other side on. I'm amazed I've managed to get them on with my spazzy hands. flap about like a bloody goldfish out of its ball. And there we go, just giving it a quick clear coat. And here, I'm just hammering over the ends of the axles. And here we're putting some new tyres on. Make it look nice and purdy. And here we're putting the screws in the base, screwing it back together. The base was done in gum blue. I forgot to mention it through rabbiting onto with other stuff, but the base and toe up were done with gum blue, which makes it look a proper job, because bases were gum blue on some of these dinkies, from what I remember. And there we go, we'll get it up on the carousel in a wee while. And here is where we started off. A beaten, battered and well play one dinky Mersey Tunnel Police Land Rover, right for a restore. But as I say, it weren't too bad condition, but it wasn't meant anyway. Here's where we finished up. A rather glorious looking dinky Mersey Tunnel Police Land Rover, and looking very pretty in its new coat of paint. Anyway, thank you to all my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, why the hell not? All it is a click on the subscribe button, and once you've done that, you can click on the bells to be notified of any future videos. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and as I say always, take care, keep ducking and weaving from the dreaded lurgy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now, and take care.